What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Calm down. Calm down. There's nothing to worry about. Juventus know what they're doing. The management's all fine. Everything's okay. There's nothing to worry about. It's all going to be taken care of. You don't need to stress. Stick with us. We'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today is Wednesday, June 8th, 2022. And of course, I got your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news you care about each and every day. Before we get into it though, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Without further ado, let's jump into it. All right, the very first news story of the day is the one that am I talking you off the ledge or am I pushing you further off it? Well, we'll see. First up, we're talking about Di Maria. The situation going on with him, the latest breakdown of all the happenings, the churning of the wheels, if you will, of the events that are going on behind the scenes. Romeo Agresti has an update regarding Di Maria coming to Juventus, right? The one that we said all along, it's fine, the deal's going to get done. Juve know what they're doing. Juve are going to get this deal done. We're good to go. Well, latest update, Juventus, Di Maria, increasingly negative feelings. The Bianconeri want a quick response and do not intend to wait any longer for his decision. You want a quick response. So you're telling me that Juventus management want a quick response from Angel Di Maria. They're in a hurry. Now, so you're telling me the last 3 weeks to a month when Juventus could have been working on a deal, could have been getting the situation sorted out, where it said all things were good, all the good feelings were there, calm down, no need to feel rushed, no need to put the pressure on Juventus, no need to freak out about any of this. No need to worry, guys. It's all going to get handled. It's all going to be figured out because obviously Juventus have one target. And that, of course, that first target was Angel Di Maria. We knew the situation going on with him. He wanted 1 year. They wanted 2. He wanted more money. They wanted less. There it is. When it comes to Juventus and the way that the situation has been handled, I'm not impressed. I'll say that. There could be things going on behind the scenes that I do not know. Let's lay that out there right now. There could be things going on behind the scenes that I am just not aware being a fan. But we've talked about on this channel. We've been ridiculed by other Juventus fans on this channel or about our channel. And the things that we've said, the talks that we've had about being worried about Juventus putting all their stock in one player, but then also not speeding it up. We've seen deals getting done for Tottenham, landing Ivan Perisic, getting that done in 4 days. 4 days, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, like I said. 4 days landing a player. Juventus have had weeks, almost a month plus, and then they've had all the time, before this, during the end of the season, working on these deals. These are free agent deals. These aren't just deals that are popping up. Juventus had feelers out there. Juventus had communications with this getting done, and right now it could all fall apart. Nothing's done. Nothing's set in stone. There's still a chance this deal could get worked out. But I'm nervous. I'm worried as a Juventus fan. We're told to trust in Juve, trust in the management. They're going to make the right decisions. Maybe I'm coming heavy-handed. But maybe if I were on the payroll, I would think differently. I would know more. I would have more information, but I don't. This is what we get, is what is floated out there. If you want to live in a world where that we don't value information, that we do not value the production of information, the news media resources. There's a lot of people that live out there saying, why do you guys even care? Why do you do this day in and day out? Because information is important. And transparency is important. When it comes to Juventus right now, if you're telling me to put all my faith and all my belief as a fan into what is getting done, I'm not going to put it individual, management, coach, whoever it is. I'm sorry, right now you have not earned that. You have not earned that faith. Yes, it was a nice run. 9 years winning the Scudetto. I'm sorry, the last 2 seasons, the one that we did win, the last Scudetto we won, nothing about those seasons showed that there was a good path forward for Juventus. They invested overly, and they're spending too much money in old players, and then they weren't giving Juventus any assistance. They brought Ronaldo in, which is fine. That was a fantastic move. Problem is, you didn't get any pieces to work around him. You didn't get any pieces to have success after that. I have my criticisms of Ronaldo. Do not get me wrong. I have plenty of criticisms. I'll go out the Ronaldo fanboys any day and every day to talk about the issues I have with Ronaldo, his performance, and all that he did in his effort level at Juventus. But when it comes to what's going on right now behind the scenes with some of the players, if this is what you're going after and this is what you wanted, you lock that up. Trying to keep it clean, trying to keep it PG for the daily videos, right? I know it doesn't always work, but I do what I can. You lock it up, you get it done. Mercado opens June 11th. It would have been nice to sit in a situation where Paul Pogba and Di Maria are done deals. 2 players done for free. Not having to worry about it. Now, if this situation falls apart, which it might, which is funny. Now that it's the 8th right now. You got a couple more days, then the Mercado opens. Couple more days. Would have been nice to have this a little bit earlier. But I understand now Juventus are starting to get antsy. Now they're starting to feel like how you and I feel. What I mean by that is I sit back and say, what's going on? What's going on, my guy? Do you want to come play for 1 season? Or do you want to do whatever it is, 2 seasons maybe for Juve? Or not? Well, now you have Barcelona at the door. Now you have potentially Atletico Madrid at the door. And they're willing to give him what he wants. And you know what? His family may prefer to live in Spain for a year. I do want to go a little bit. There's some of the people out here, or some people are making comments saying, why do you want Di Maria? What does he bring? He's not that good of a player. It's only going to be 1 year. Is that good? What good is that going to do for Juventus? It can do a lot of good. Winning a Scudetto would be a lot of good. Angel Di Maria is a hell of a player when he's motivated, when he brings his A game. If you've witnessed what I saw in his performance against Italy, you know, the entire Argentine team dismantling one of my favorite teams, watching the Azzurri, it hurt. Even though it didn't matter, the game didn't matter for anything, still didn't feel good. But I did know that was a player that you could have at Juventus that could bring a lot to the table. Juventus may miss out on him. That's the situation as it stands. Now the clock's ticking. Now the clock's ticking. He's going to have to make a decision. All right, let's continue on. I think there's a second part to this, though, and that's DiMarzio and his reports given on there saying that in the last hours, the Di Maria track has cooled down. Juventus, in fact, are not convinced by the 1-year contract formula requested by the player. There's interest in the Argentinian from Barcelona, which has entered and is now more convinced of the operation. More of what I was saying. So there you go. He could be going to Barcelona now. I think he would have been a good option. I had my criticisms of the player. I did. I was pretty open about saying that if I don't think that he's going to bring to the table and actually give it after the World Cup's over, I wouldn't want him anyway. Maybe that's part of what Juventus was thinking on, maybe during this time. Some of that can come out. I want to be clear. I did make statements during this. I'm coming a little heavy-handed, but I did say I do not have all the facts in front of me. But given the facts that I do have, it hasn't looked good. So if there's some mystery operation going on behind the scenes, could be, of what is happening with the club and with the player, and that's why they were so slow on moving on it. I understand wanting to save a couple shekels, but at this point, if it's something that's going to lead to you having significant success, when you have significantly disappointed the last 2 seasons in the Serie A, time to step it up. Time to get those pieces. Time to maybe budge on the little bits, those little requests that he had. We'll see what happens. We'll continue to monitor this. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow we'll have a here we go. Obviously, I'm kidding. I doubt it. But we may have some kind of report there. All right. Let's move on from Di Maria. I'm done with talking him. Hopefully, Juve will give me something better to work with after this. Son of a... All right. We're going to do this now. Here we go. Romeo Gresti is reporting, as well as a few others have, saying that the first contact confirmed today between Juventus and that of Sassuolo for Domenico Berardi. Bomardi. That guy. Reasoning are the overall costs, with the Bianconeri called upon to decide whether or not to accelerate on this deal. Yeah, I'm sitting silent for a sec. If I thought I couldn't be annoyed enough with the first story, you really want to piss me off here. You're telling me after all the rumors that Juventus have had recently, that the guy you're going after at Sassuolo is going to be Domenico Berardi. That guy. The guy who couldn't score to save his life for the Azzurri. Yeah, he can do a couple things at Sassuolo because that's what they got. But you're telling me you're looking at Sassuolo, and the guy you're going for is an older player, a washed player, a player that you don't need when you have Raspadori right there. And I understand Raspadori will probably be more expensive in the long run. He's still not that high. You still can work out a deal with them to get him for cheaper, to work out some kind of payment plan. Just say no to Domenico Berardi. Couldn't even get it out. That's it. I don't know what else to say. There is no way that I want to see, and I just touched the mic, and that was gross. I mean, it's only me talking to this mic, so it's not like it's really... I'm not getting anybody else's spittle on my lips, you know, just for a little inside baseball. Anyway. Just no. I don't need this. No, if I could have the Michael Scott, no, whatever, yelling, no. That's how I feel right now. No thanks to Berardi. And no offense, if you're really worried about overall costs, maybe the club really is broke. Maybe you really can't afford anything then. If it's because of overall costs when you have Raspadori, who I think brings it every game, who's a player that I really like, and you're going to go after Berardi. I hope that this is all just, smoke and nonsense. Because if it's not, somebody in the management needs to have their head checked. You honestly, I don't get it. Is this Allegri? If it's Allegri, he should be certifiably insane if that's what you want to go after. And I understand maybe Allegri thinks it'll work in his system. Well, not much has worked in your system in the last year. Thanks for giving us fourth place again. Wonderful. I don't know. Guys, that's my thoughts. What are your thoughts when it comes to Berardi and the whole conversation with Di Maria? These are probably the only ones that I'm really going to go heavy-handed with, but this is not what I need as a Juventus fan right now. I'd imagine you all don't either. I'd imagine right now you're a little worn down from a few disappointing seasons. Seasons where you've had games where Juventus have been thoroughly embarrassed against better competition. And when I say better competition, I'm not talking about, Champions League, winning clubs quality. I'm talking about Milan and Inter, teams that you should and that you have looked down upon, that you trounced over in recent years. All right. That's it when it comes to him. I know there was a comment, I don't know if it was real or fake, something about Agresti also floating out there saying that the idea of Zaniolo and Berardi both kind of read like journalists hoping for something, or just trying to throw something out there to fill time and paper. I sincerely hope that when it comes to Berardi, that is the case. And that, because Raspadori, that name has cooled recently, or at least it hasn't been as, you haven't heard it as much, been floated out there. And that's what I'm worried about. Okay, let's move on. I can't do more Berardi right now. Talking about other aspects when it comes to Juventus and what they have there for the striker position, they're hoping to retain and get the deal done with Atletico Madrid for Alvaro Morata. Giovanni Albanese is reporting saying that in the talks between Juventus and Atletico Madrid, not only Morata, the exchange with Moise Kean is a topic, but the player that could make the difference on a max deal is Rodrigo De Paul on a loan, still early talks. Now here's something I could get behind. So if you're telling me you could go ahead and buy Moise Kean and then potentially offload him with Atletico Madrid while keeping Morata and then also working out some kind of deal to loan out, maybe potentially buy Rodrigo De Paul, and that could be the second midfielder, I am all the way here for that. Now, that's something I can be positive old Justin about. That is something I can get excited about. And that is something I can smile about and, would be all the way here for. If that's on the table, get it done. I'm absolutely here for it. It won't make up for losing out or Di Maria. Let's not kid ourselves. The reason I'm really frustrated when it comes to Di Maria, just for some transparency of myself, is because the situation how that's going to play out after losing out on Di Maria. It's not exactly about Di Maria the player. He's a solid player. But then the problem is we know how long and drawn out this process is when you haven't pinpointed a player, and then you're going to go pinpoint them, and then you're going to have to go pursue them, and then we're going to see how this lands by the end of the Mercado. Maybe it's Kostic, but it sounds like they're also wanting another guy. Who's that going to be? Is it Big Z? Is it Zaniolo? We'll talk about it. All right. Back to the happy Justin, though. Rodrigo de Paul, I'm all the way here for it. If you can add him, sign him while offloading Moise Ken and keeping Alvaro Morata, that's some good business. That could be a good business that could be done. We'll have to see what the finances of that whole business can look like, but that's definitely something that would intrigue me. Something that's not as positive that you may not want to hear, though, is the situation with Matthias de Ligt. DiMarcio is reporting saying that Chelsea's new owner, Todd Boehly, is ready to finance the purchase of Matthias de Ligt should Coach Tuchel decide to prefer the Dutch center back over other targets, such as Guardiola. So there you go. The Mercado could start heating up. Obviously, Juventus are working on a deal, trying to renew him, trying to retain Matthias de Ligt. Is it Matthias or Matthias? I always say Matthias, but I always hear a lot of Matthias too. You guys let me know so I know that I'm saying it right. I'll go with Matthias. Matthias, you let me know. I don't know why I've never done that in the last 2-3 years, to be honest. Anyway. Just to me, if I were Juventus, do whatever you can to ward off this happening and to keep him at Juventus. Obviously, you're not gonna throw out ridiculous money, but keep him reasonable. The stuff we talk about every single day, every single freaking day, right? But anyway, to me, I think he is potentially should be your captain moving forward and could be a leader of the squad. So I would do what I can to keep him de Ligt from going to the Premier League and especially going to Chelsea, Manchester United, whoever else. Talking about another player Juventus are trying to get and trying to bring into the club, though, is Daniele Longo, commenting on Molina and the situation going on there. He says there's a strong competition for Molina from Atletico Madrid, but Juventus plan to make an official offer to Udinese soon. The Argentine is very much liked by the management. Again, kind of repetitive news that we've had here recently, saying that now Juventus have been behind Atletico Madrid when it comes to pursuing the Udinese target of Molina. But the one thing that is obviously working in their favor is that Juventus, the management, Agnelli, whoever else, they have a really good relationship with the Pozzo family there of Udinese. So we can see that deal getting done and potentially going after Udogi, who is higher on my list as a priority. Maybe if it's not possible in this Mercado, definitely in the next one. Let's move on and talk about it. I mentioned his name earlier, and that is that of Kostic. What's going on with him and Juventus? Alfredo Padula has a report saying that Kostic has a renewal offer from Eintracht Frankfurt, but wants to wait for Juventus again. So this could be something that could really develop and heat up soon, especially given if in the next 48 hours or if it's 24 hours. I've seen reports of both. Is it 24? Is it 48 hours for Di Maria to have his final yes or no or whatever it's going to be? But when that happens, if those pieces fall into place and they end up moving on from Di Maria, Kostic could be one that they could try to sweep in and hopefully potentially try to get that one done more swiftly overall. So keep an eye on that. All right, and then we're going to move on and talk about the midfield and talk about really a youth product that a lot of you guys are interested in. Fajoli, what's going on with him? Romeo Guidetti kind of has his confirmation saying that Juve are set to make an offer to Fajoli's entourage regarding a contract extension. The upcoming meeting is expected to be decisive. So it seems more and more likely, unless there's smoke and mirrors again, that potentially they could sign him for longer than he and Moretti could be staying there with the first team in the midfield to help boost there and maybe have some Italian talent, actually develop there for Juventus there. We'll see how that goes for the two of them. And then finally, the last bit of news we have for today is talking about a player, a left back option for Juventus. You guys know how we feel about him here at the channel. Emerson Palmieri. Daniele Longo has an update on him saying that Lyon would like to keep Emerson Palmieri, but the player would like to return to Italy. So it's going to be a tug of war over here. Will he end up staying for Lyon? I think a lot of us are saying, Lyon, we hope that you've got the strength to keep a hold on him. Keep a firm grip. Because I think a lot of us Juventus fans would probably not really like to see Emerson Palmieri. And I'm not going to speak for everybody. Let's be clear. That's my personal opinion. If you have the option of Udogi, yeah, go get Udogi. Don't get Emerson Palmieri, who is, to me, not that vastly different than that of what you're getting from Alexandro. We can just do another year of Alexandro, which he probably will have to, instead of Emerson Palmieri. That's my personal opinion. We'll see what happens. We'll keep following that and keep you updated every step of the way. But anyway, that'll do it right now for the news that I have regarding Juventus. The next 24 to 48 hours are going to be very eventful, especially given what's going on with Di Maria. We will have a potential here we go, or will we have a live where we actually do a here we oh no, and maybe we break down what really happened, what went down with Juventus, what are their moves moving into the future. I talked about it each and every day, but of course we want to hear all of your opinions on the subject as well. If you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Make sure you follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter, and then of course follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.